Okay, folks, so you've made a clear-cut decision. You've decided what you really want. You've got excited about it, and yet you don't do anything to make it happen. Nothing changes. You just feel stuck. Sometimes some people share with me that when this occurs, they feel even worse than before they made the actual decision because now they're starting to feel like a failure where before they were just feeling overwhelmed and paralyzed. So, what can you do to alleviate all of these feelings? It comes with the next 3Ds in this series that I've been talking about. We talked on Monday about making a clear-cut decision, then that desire builds, you're excited, and you are ready to go. So, that's where you are right now. What happens next? It's probably one of the single most important things. And there's a lot of D words you could put in place here. The word I'm going to give you is details, better known as your daily list of things to do or your daily action steps. Now, a lot of people, we're going to talk about how to make healthy lists here in a minute, but for a lot of people, they get stuck right here because they just don't want to do the daily tasks that it takes or those action steps. And it is and can be very repetitive, very mundane, sometimes not as excited as you want it to be, but it's where you show up and do the work. So it is in the details. Some other D words that I always say to people that you could sort of put in parentheses if you want is discipline. So in order to do these details, it takes discipline. It takes dedication. It takes diligence. All of these words could be used in place of these details or alongside of the details. So I just want to give you a little bit more food for thought that could help you with actually achieving what you want to achieve. So yes, it takes discipline. It takes showing up daily. It takes diligence. That means doing it no matter what occurs, doing those action steps, no matter what roadblock gets in your way, no matter what curveball is thrown your way. It takes dedication. This is where you're committed. So all of these feelings is what it takes with these details. Now let's talk about making a daily list of things to do first. This is where I see that people kind of mess up to start with, and that is the average person. Let's just talk about the difference between men and women. Men don't like to make daily lists of things to do, and when they do, they're pretty short, sweet, and simple. There's usually never more than 4 or 5 items on that list, and they're usually 2-word sentences. If they have to go to the store, it's like get milk, mow lawn, clean garage. Like these are simple things, and there's usually not more than 4 or 5. They finish that list, and then they're in celebration mode. You know, if you give them a list of things to do around the house, then they finish the list and they're like, hey, I got my list done. I'm going golfing. Hey, I got my list done. I'm going to kick back and watch the game. Hey, I'm done with this. I'm going to celebrate. This is actually very healthy because you are doing what you need to do, and then you're celebrating that you got it done with something you enjoy. This is actually super healthy. Women, on the other hand, if they were to make a list of things to do, it typically depends on the size of the paper that they have. If there is a typical notebook sheet of paper, there's 23 lines, and you'll fill it up. You will fill it right up. And if by some miracle, which is not likely to happen, that you were to get all 23 items done in a single day, would you ever stop and celebrate? No, you turn the page and start a new one. So this is very different between men and women. So I just want to encourage you, first and foremost, is to make that list, no matter who you are, right? And you should never have more than 10 items on your list. That's one of the reasons we have these awesome notepads designed of daily list of things to do. They're Post-it notes, so you can actually stick them on either stick them on your fridge, you can stick them in a notebook, you can stick them on the front of your planner, you can move them around. They're pretty awesome. So we actually sell those on our website at Work From Your Happy Place, and it comes in our planner bundle as well. So those notepads are pretty awesome, and they're designed specifically with 10 items so that you don't do or put more than 10 items on your list. Now, why is this important? Because it will help you to prioritize what you really need to do today. It's one of the reasons I also really encourage you every day to say, what's my main objective of the day? It's another thing we have in our planner. It's like, what's my main objective or my main goal of the day? Because that's going to help you then to line up your daily list of things to do with the proper priorities. A lot of times we fill up a list of things to do because we want to feel good about what we're doing. And so we feel like, oh, I got to do all these things. And a lot of them are just filler, fluff. They're not going to get you to achieving the actual goal that you want for the day or the objective of the day. They're actually just going to make you feel busy. And busy work is not always productive work. And that's really super important for you to get honest about and to understand. Busy work is not always productive work. So you have to decide, okay, here's what I need to do today. What's my main objective of the day? Make your daily list of things to do. As much as you can be repetitive with that in those details, then you are going to have a greater level of success. Meaning, I do these 4 things every day, and then maybe you add a few extra things to that every single day so that you're going to continue to repeat these same patterns. If you did not watch my Power Hour training, that's one of the things I talk about is identifying your 4 income producing activities or your driving factors of your business or whatever it is you're trying to achieve. And you're going to do those, 4 days a week at 15 minutes each, no matter what. So that's another good way that you can look at it. But sit down, make your objective of the day, create your list of things to do. And ladies, when you get that list done, celebrate. Now, here's the thing. We don't require lots for celebration. It could just be having a glass of wine. It could be having a cup of tea. It could be taking a nice long bath. It could be just sitting back and watching your favorite TV show because you got so much done for the day. But you reward yourself, and this is going to keep that energy level going. It's going to make you excited to start the next day. We're starting anew, and it's going to make you prioritize what really are the important things to do and what are the productive things to do versus the busy things to do. So that is details, my friends. And remember, some of those words that go alongside of it are discipline. So you got to have some discipline. You got to show up every day. You've got to have some diligence, and that's going to be doing it no matter what else gets in your way for the day. And then you need to have dedication, and that means I'm committed to making this happen. It's really important to me. Revisit why that's important to you. And if you haven't figured out your why you want to do anything of these decisions you're making, that's an important piece to figure out because that's what's going to fuel you. It's what's going to keep you going. It's what's going to keep you with your goal and your target in sights. It's going to help you. Now, the next D is determination. And here's the determination. Here's the definition of determination right out of the dictionary. And that is, decide what it is you want. Follow through with the details no matter how mundane they may be. Never losing sight of the end result. That's the definition of determination. It's pretty amazing, right? Because it goes right in line with what we've been talking about and teaching. You first have to decide what it is you want. Follow through with the details no matter how mundane they may be. One of the things I hear from lots of entrepreneurs or small business owners is, you know what, I'll do this I'll keep doing this until it isn't fun anymore. Well, you know what? Sometimes it isn't fun. Sometimes the details aren't fun. They're mundane, and you want to keep doing them no matter how mundane they may be. But here's the kicker of determination: never losing sight of the end result. When I'm coaching people, one of the things I find that they want to do when the going gets tough, instead of sticking with keeping in sight what they really want, what they need to do, pivot, adjust, whatever, but I'm going to get there no matter what. Never losing sight of what my end goal is. People change their end goal. Well, I've lost enough weight, so it's okay. I didn't really want to go on that trip anyway because it's going to be a lot of work and there's going to be a lot of, actually, you start to make excuses. You make excuses of why it's okay that you're not sticking to your guns on what it was you really wanted. And this is what I see actually about 80% of people do. Why don't I just change the end game? Why don't I change the end result? That's not determination. So let's go over that definition again. Definition of determination is decide what it is you want, follow through with the details no matter how mundane they may be, never losing sight of the end result. This is where vision is so important. It's why you got to know your why. Why do you want it so bad? And then you've got to figure out, I got to keep doing these action steps. And guess what? It might take you longer than you thought to get there. It might come with some more challenges than what you thought. You might have to figure out some things along the way. You might have to pivot. You might have to change a direction. But guess what? You don't lose sight of the end result. If you need to get help, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's the other thing that I find that people really struggle with, is if they would have just put aside their pride or anything that they're feeling and just say, you know what, I need help with this. Most people are pretty willing to give you advice or their opinion. Doesn't mean you have to take every one of them, but sometimes it's things that you haven't even thought of. You have friends that are really good at thinking outside of the box besides being trapped in the box. Most of us, when we're working on something and then a curveball throws us, we trap ourselves in a box so tight that we can't see the forest for the trees. You can't see what's outside of the box. That's why when people say, oh, she's really good at thinking outside of the box, that's because they think differently, maybe more creatively. They have had different experiences. So they've already gone through a situation similar to this, or you can think about who has gone through something like this. Let me call them and ask them, what did they do? Or I need some help figuring this out. And it is amazing when you get that. There's two things that are amazing with that. First and foremost, people can give you a different perspective than maybe what your limited knowledge has in that particular area. And the other thing that I love when I ask people for help or for their opinion is oftentimes it validates what you're doing. And then that's encouraging. So by asking for help, oftentimes we're given a solution or a different path to take or a different perspective to take. And at the same time, we're validated in the thing that we really want. And there's power in validation. When you feel validated about what you're doing, there's power in that. It keeps you going. It keeps you on task. It keeps you in the game. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And that all comes in this arena of determination. And if you have to figure out a different route, figure out a different way to do that. Maybe you've got to go back and change the details that you're doing. Maybe these 5 things that you're doing every day consistently, maybe they're not really contributing to your success. So what are some other things? Maybe out of those 5, is there 2 that just aren't really doing anything for you? And could you replace those with 2 things that would be more productive, that would actually cross you over a finish line? Just because you make a decision on, okay, these are the 5 things I'm going to do every day, as you start going along, they might not be the best 5 things, but it doesn't mean you throw the whole thing. Have you ever heard that saying, throw the baby out with the bathwater? And so you don't want to do that, but you say, okay, what adjustments do I need to make? That's why part of reflection and adjusting every week on your goals is super important, because you might realize this isn't getting me anywhere. I'm spending hours on this and it's not contributing to my bottom line. It is not helping to move me forward. So maybe, just maybe, I need to quit spending so much time, energy, money, resources, whatever it is. Maybe I need to change up what I'm doing. Maybe I need to take that out and replace it with something else that's going to be better. So that is determination. And then here's the most amazing thing out of all of this. And I can promise you, because I've had too many thousands of testimonials that people have sent me that said, I followed this to a T and I just have to share this with you. And it's super exciting and it's super validating for me to keep on training it still after all these years. And that is when you make a clear-cut decision, when you get excited about that decision and you start sharing it with other people around you, get other people on board to share in your excitement or giving you perspective, right? Then you start following through with the action steps. What are the details that you need to do in order to make this happen? You stay determined. You don't let any obstacles get in your way. You learn to navigate around them. You adjust, you change, you shift, you pivot. You will reach your destination every single time. I promise you. And sometimes that destination might look different than what you originally pictured it, but you're going to reach some version of that destination and success if you don't give up on it. There is so many people that I have interviewed that, especially we'll talk about weight. They're like, they come within 10 pounds of their goal. And then they're like, well, I did a really good job, or it's good enough, or they're trying to pay off debt. And they're like, well, I got really close. And then they just start going into spending mode. They think, I've done really good. Now I deserve this. That's another whole topic that we can talk about, is you feeling like, well, I've worked really hard, so I deserve a break. I deserve a cheat day. I deserve to go out and buy myself something special, even if you've been working really hard at not spending any money at all. Like, sometimes you do need to have a little reward for yourself, but when you start talking to yourself and saying, I deserve this, and what's worse is when other people start telling you, you deserve that. You work really hard. It's not for anybody to determine whether you should cheat on your, healthy eating habits, whether you should cheat on your exercise program, whether you should cheat on your spending and your saving, your budget that you have set for yourself. Like, I think that people truly, not all people, but there's a lot of people that resent people that stick to something really hardcore. And the reason for that is because when they face it, when they're facing that person, they would rather see you falter. They'd rather see you miss a beat. They'd rather see you fall down than actually be successful, because then that says, yeah, you're no different than them. Like, everybody does this, and this is why I do it. But when you're able to stick to it and see your result, then they start to look in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do that? So I think that's why people encourage other people to falter, which is really bad. I can't tell you. And it's people in my life that, that I care about, people close to me that will, sabotage. I'll go to a luncheon and they'll be like, are you going to have a piece of cake? And you're like, no, I'm going to skip the cake today. And they're like, oh, come on. One piece of cake isn't going to hurt you. You've been doing so good. You deserve a treat now and again. And I'm like, and there was a time where I would fall to that and go, okay. And now I'm pretty strong and go, well, you know what? I'm sticking to my program. So you can have the cake and I hope you enjoy it, but I'm perfectly happy and content not having it. Sometimes people will still continue to bug you, but you've got to learn to say, is this important enough to me? And why is it important enough to me? So that's one thing. And then other people will do things like, people do this to people all the time when they're saying, I've really cut back on drinking, and so I'm really not drinking a lot of alcohol right now. Oh, come on. You need to have a little fun. One little glass of wine isn't going to hurt ya. Who said I said it was going to hurt me? It's just a decision I have made. It's a choice I've made, and it's one that I'd like to stick to. So people telling you and talking you out of reaching your final destination and saying, oh, you're so close, or you've done so well, you deserve it, you need a treat, you need a day off. Well, do you feel that way? That is the thing that you should look at, because if you don't, then stick to what's important to you. Learn to set boundaries around those things that you cherish and hold dear and that are non-negotiables for you. That's another whole topic we can talk about, is learning how to set really healthy boundaries that matter. But again, I'm going to kind of go through this with you, and that is you want to make a decision, the desire builds, you follow through with the details, which requires what? Discipline, dedication, and discipline, and diligence. And then you follow through with determination, not giving up no matter what, and then you'll reach your destination. These 5 Ds work in almost anything. And the other thing that I want to talk about that'll really just sort of conclude this whole topic is we are going to talk about self-sabotage. So what are the things that you do that create self-sabotage? So we're going to talk about that in our next session, because if you can identify what your triggers are for self-sabotage, then that's going to help you in these 5 Ds to say, no, I'm recognizing it. I am not going to do it. And one of them is getting very close to your goal and giving up right before you get there. So tune in Friday when we continue this discussion on making really good decisions, reaching your destination, having a level of success, and what you can do to stop self-sabotage. Thanks, everyone. If you liked what you heard today, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit like. And if you know of someone that you think could really benefit from this, then please share, because you'll be doing them a favor and you certainly will be helping us out here in this channel. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you on Friday.